Ron Paul just emailed me and he said, my pick for the next Fed chair. Happy to have you along, my fellow Americans. I'm Sam Bushman with another Liberty Roundtable live short video brought to you by PrepStartsNow.com. You've got a friend in the preparedness business. That's PrepStartsNow.com. All right, so I got an email from Ron Paul, and he says, hey, you want to know my pick for the next Fed chairman? He said, hey, Sam, recently, President Trump again suggested that he might fire the chairman of the Federal Reserve, Jerome Powell. This inevitably raises the question, well, who Trump might choose as Powell's replacement, right? Those who know my economic philosophy, says Ron Paul, know my answer would be replace him with nobody. I'm bringing this to your attention because I agree 1,000% with Ron Paul. Just shut down the Federal Reserve, fire the chairman, call the debt, the $37 trillion of debt, nothing but fraud, and let's move on. Let's have United States notes where there's no interest paid. Let's move to honest money, constitutional currency, gold and silver once again. That's where the solutions really are. The market should set the interest rates. The Fed is a toxic institution that should be ended immediately. Anyway, all I can tell you is this. We need to keep the pressure on Congress to pass the Audit the Fed bill in this term. It won't be easy. We need to pressure Donald Trump to really go into Fort Knox like he promised. Is the gold there like we were told? Hey, we got to get this done. Ron Paul's absolutely right. Who's the pick for the next Fed chairman? Answer, nobody. We don't need a Federal Reserve. We don't need to manipulate interest rates. Let the supply and demand of a free market determine that. And let's get back to honest money. The sooner, the better. In fact, we're talking about DOGE and reducing expenditures. If you got rid of the Fed and moved us to constitutional currency, you would instantly rid ourselves of, I don't know the number, 80, 90% of all the fraudulent government expenditures. And then we would have to decide as a people, straight up and down votes on what we will fund. It would have to have a direct tie to the Constitution because we're spending constitutional sacred funds on this, right? The government can get plenty of money through tariffs and apportionment taxes. And if they can't live on that, then they've moved from their defensive proper role of government position to an offensive, belligerent, out of control government, which needs to be stopped. I stand for constitutional currency. I stand for honesty in all of our transactions. After all, honesty is the issue. Fire the Fed chairman, shut down the Fed, and return to constitutional currency, will you please, President Donald J. Trump? We implore you, we beg you, we encourage you to make a tall stand now. And while you're at it, shut down the IRS, will you? They're a clown organization that's been abusing people for way too long, and it's time they stop. Now that you've cranked up the ERS, you don't need the IRS anymore either. Shut them down, sir, and then the rest will take care of itself. I'm Sam Bushman, and there's another Liberty Roundtable live short video. God save our republic.